well. So students, my name is Nuria. I'm part of Microsoft and part of the Future Ready Talent team. Along with me, I have Vaishnavi, who is from Foundit, as well as from the FRT team, as well as Chaitanya and Akhila, who are part of the ByteXL team for Future Ready Talent. For today's session, we wanted to assist you essentially in terms of understanding how to create a project on FRT and how to utilize Azure Services successfully so that your project can also be successfully passed. We also want to introduce the idea of starting to use AI as well as one of the services in your FRT project. And to help us essentially with this particular demonstration, we have a special guest, Ashok Kumar Pandey, who has over 17 years of experience in training and an expert in Azure certifications. I think, Ashok, you have almost all certifications possible under the Microsoft Azure umbrella. So this is a very special recording from that lens. Um, so students, I know that you are already aware in terms of how the project page is structured. We do require that you do submit your project synopsis and align your project to a specific industry and state exactly what is the project statement as well as what is the opportunity that you're looking to address through your particular project. And one of the major requirements and mandatory steps for you to successfully graduate from the program is you need to have used at least two Azure services that are both unique and in functioning scenarios as well. So for today's session, Ashok is going to explain to us how to create a project using Azure services and how to also best utilize your $100 Azure credit so that it doesn't expire or doesn't lapse and there's no cost incurred to you. So with that, I'll hand it over to Ashok. Over to you, please.
Thank you, Nuria, for this opportunity. And guys, one of you just said your credit has been expired. So this is a very common scenario happens with most of the students I have seen. Actually, a very important thing to keep in mind is don't keep your services running unnecessarily. Okay, when you keep your services running, Microsoft will charge you simply. So the best idea is when you are not using any of the services, when you are not demonstrating or anything, just keep them, either you delete them or keep them off. So when you keep your services off, turn off, shut down, at that time your charges are less as compared with when your instances are running. So if you apply this trick, you can save your lot of money. And another thing is, please guys, don't deploy some services which is outside India or somewhere in US. You know, depending on areas or the regions, there are different charges. So remember these things, it will help you to save your money. So guys, Nuria has already told you that I have almost of 17 years of teaching experience. So, and guys, today what we are going to do is to learn a very simple concept of Azure App Service. So what is app service? How we configure Azure App Service? How we configure the Azure App Service? We will see what is staging, how you can make your app services continue to run. So we will see the app service deployment slot. We will see how we configure app service and how how you deploy the code. Deploy code. So here app service is one of the service, and we will use Git local. From here, how we can deploy our code to the Azure service. These things we are going to learn, and then we will see how we swap our staging slots. How we swap our staging slot. What is staging slot? We will see those things. We will learn those concepts. And the last thing that we will learn is the auto scaling. Auto scaling, which is a different concept. So auto scaling will help you to make your services available when there is a more demand. So when demands increase, auto scaling service will help you to make your services running every time. Sometimes it will increase your resources, and if there is no demand, it will decrease automatically. So how we are going to use these all services to make your app service highly available. So this is one kind of solutions, or you can say project. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
I hope my screen is visible to all of you.
Correct. We can see it.
Now guys, so first thing that we are going to learn is the how we create our Azure app service. So the first thing first that we will do is we will search for the Azure app service. So as you can see, Azure app service is part of compute. You know that there are different services we have. There are different services we have, different categories, and app service is part of our compute. Okay, so now as you can see, we have app service. So the first thing first, we need to create our app service. So when you click the app service, what do you see? There are different options. So you have web application. Now you have to define your resource group. If you don't have resource group, create a resource group. Create a resource group where all your resources will reside. Then select your region, select your plan. Select your pricing plan. As you can see this, select these options. So when you select your plan, guys, look at the pricing very carefully. Now, do you see this? Do you want redundancy or not? Depending on your requirement, you will select the option. So click on other options. You can see you have to specify a name for your applications, which need to be unique one, which needs to be unique. So select a name. For example, you say my web. Select a unique name, and then you have to select you want Docker container, you want a static web app, or you want code. If you want to go with the code, select your run. So for example, I say I want PHP. So there are different applications available. So depending on your requirement, depending on the applications you want, select the applications, and based on that, you will create your applications. So whether you want .NET, you want Go, you want PHP, you want Python, what are the languages you have, what are the codes you have or you want, you can select. You have the flexibility available here. So select the one you want. You want 8.2, 8.0, 8.1, whatever the version you want, select that version. Try to go with the latest one, guys, whenever you possible. And you can see the platform is Linux. Okay, the platform is Linux. So it's up to you which platform you want. If I go with the PHP, you can see. If you want to select any other, so depending on your requirement, guys, you will go with the application. So which editions you want, which version you want, select that one. Okay, so if you want, if you are comfortable with the Java, select Java. So based on your requirement, guys, you will select your platform. Okay, so there are different platforms available. So whichever is you are comfortable with, select that one. Now, if I go with the, sorry, not, let me check another one. When we go with the latest one, there was no such message. When we go with the lowest one available, it's showing that it is the last date. So go with the latest. So you want redundancy or not, select. And now you have the options to create and deploy. Okay, so just review. It's validating, as you can see. So it's deploying. So as you can see, now it is done. Go to the resources. And you can see your deployment is completed. Now we need to create our staging slots. So if you copy this one and paste it here, what it is showing? Your application is running. Now we have just created our one applications with the default coding. Now what we need to do is we need to proceed with our slots. So if you look at on the right hand side, sorry, left hand side here, you have options for deployment. Here what do you see is deployment slots. Now here you see this add slots. You need to specify a name. So I'm just saying staging, and then I say add. As you can see that it is creating the slots. What is the concept of this one? What is the concept of these slots? Why do you need actually? Actually, guys, you know that in production we have our websites, our applications. Sometimes you need to update it. So what we have is we have our resource group, inside which we just deploy our app service. We deploy our app service. Now, when we deploy the app service, it has actually created our application in production slots. Production slot. Now, what if, guys, you need to make some changes? For example, you have a website. You have a websites like any website, Microsoft website. Now and then you will see lot of changes Microsoft actually makes on a daily basis. So, do they make the changes on the public facing pages every time online, or they have something else? They have something else. What they do? This is production and this is development. So they make the changes here. They make the changes here, and then they do what? They change, they swap. So this development page, it becomes the production page, and this production page becomes the development page. So they just swap it, and this swapping is done. This swapping is done within a second, less than a second even, you can say. So end user doesn't even feel what has happened in the background. They don't understand. So when we create our application service, it has created only one slot, which is production slot. Now we are going to do what? We are going to create, we just created another slot called staging. A staging slot. Staging slot. So a staging slot will help me to switch our applications. So it will have a different content, and it will have a different content. But this is at the production, at the development end, and this is at the public facing. So when the developer team, they need to make the changes on the production or make the information available to the end user, what they do? They make the changes on the development staging, and they just then swap it. So you get the latest information. And once the production comes here and the staging comes here, okay, then they make the changes on the production. So end user actually doesn't understand what happens in the background. So this is the concept of the staging. So this is how we add. This is how we add our staging. So we just saw how staging is added. Now I click on close. As you can see that there is production and there is staging. I hope this is clear to you, all of you. Now if I click on this one, see this, it has again a new link. If I click here, guys, is there any difference in the page, both page? Look at this. Is there any? But look at the URL. Look at the URL. There is a difference in the URL. Now, what we want is we want to configure or see how we configure our web application deployment settings. So You can see this. We have deployment center. Source. Look at this. We have different source. We have different source. Guys, you might know what is GitHub. So if we are, in this case, we are going with the local Git. Local Git is like local repository, where we will store our information. It's a, you can say, a local Git server. So it provides you access to your local informations. So what I'm going to do is just save this setting, local Git. We just save these settings. And look at the URL. I just copy this one. I need this link later on. So what I am doing is I just keep it safe somewhere. I just keep it safe. Now once it is done, you see this, you have local Git or FTPS credential. You need to use a unique username and the password for this one. So if you scroll down, you see this, you have to specify a user. The user need to be globally unique, and you have to use a user password. But the password should not include any kind of special characters. Remember this. A special character such as like your at, dollar, plus, any special character it should not have. So use any name you want, any name, but it need to be something unique. So I say I am going to use Contoso dev and something different. And I am going to copy this username because we need this username later on. And the password. Password for the user. Now, once it is done, click on the save. Save. So we have just configured our deployment center. How we configure our deployment. Now, till this guys, any confusion? Okay. It's creating. Oh.
So students, while Ashok brings up his storage as well on Azure, if you have any questions, feel free to post it on the chat, raise your hand, make this session as interactive as you want it. So I'm sure there must be some questions you also have that you would like to get answered while we have Ashok with us on call. So please don't hesitate to ask your questions as well.
This takes a little bit time. Now we have our file, the link which we have copied. Specify the location where some informations are available. So your repository, you will define your repository. So you know where is your repository, and based on that repository you will define your location. So it is asking for the username. So to supply the password. Sometimes it does not type it properly on the console. So we just see, not typing well, not sure, can check this one. Two plus WGH. It's not typing. Failed authentication. Guys, do you see this? What's happening? We don't have the account. So first of all, guys, you have to create your account, okay, with the proper username, password. So mine one is not there. Okay, so I'm going with admin as a name. Now username administrator is not available. Is not available. WL. So you have to first go to the office.com, check your mail. Outlook. GitHub. Now verify your account. select your purpose. So for which purpose you want to use this one, so which features you want. You can select one or you can select all you want. Oh shit. That lab was actually closed. Okay, it got time out, but no issues. Guys, see, I was doing that one in the lab. So it was just a interface, nothing else. All our services are where? In the cloud. So look at this. We have app service. As you can see, we have our app service. I was doing those things where, guys? Where I was doing those things? In my lab. Here I was doing those things. But you see this? This is my physical machine. So it doesn't matter. You do it from your virtual machine, you do it from your physical machine, or you do it from any kind of virtual hosted lab. Your services are there in the cloud. It doesn't matter. So sometimes I have seen some of the users, what they do is they think when they turn off their laptop, the services are also shut down, which is actually not true. It all runs on the cloud. So guys, do you see something here? Guys, do you see something here? What is this? Swap. If you click on swap, what do you see? Source is what? Staging. Target is what? Now, if you click on swap, look at the source and look at the So when the user actually access your production, okay, you make the changes on the development page. You make the changes on your development page. Okay, you make changes on your development page, and then what you do is, when it comes to swapping, when it comes to change, you simply do what? You click on the swap. You just click on the swap. And then what it will do is, production website will comes to the development site, and development site will goes to the production site. So when you develop your web applications or websites, you can use this concept, and you can use your GitHub also. Okay, you can just integrate your GitHub and your code which will be hosted in your GitHub. Now, my GitHub account is not working. The user was down in the lab. Oh. There is a, we need to verify the device. Because we log in from a different portal previously. Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Nuri, I think Alok has left the call, it seems. But Ashok was left up. Vaishnavi,
Yeah. Hello. Hi. Hi. Yeah.
no one is in the call. I think no one is like someone. Alok has left. Ashok has left, I think.
So, yeah. So just one second, Sai. So I just got off the call with Ashok. I think there was just a connectivity issue. So he's just rejoining the call. So just give a few minutes. He should be
Sure, sure.
rejoining. Yeah, yeah.
Sure, sure.
Hi, Ashok. Are you back on the call? I can see your name is.
Ashok, I think you are in mute.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, it is audible.
Hello? Yeah, thanks.
Also, Ashok, just in the interest of time, since we are also at 5:30, so maybe if you could just deliver like the last few minutes, and then we'll just open it up to a couple of questions. So maybe about 10 more
Okay, sure.
minutes, and then we can open it up to
Just
questions.
okay. Just then we
Yeah.
actually there is issues with my GitHub. Okay, this is the actually account that we get from Microsoft, and
Okay.
everything is pre-configured, but I don't know what's happening with this account.
No, that's okay. It happens. Ashok, do you need another GitHub account? We do have an FRT support desk account.
No. If we use then that information that we have
Okay.
associated with this account will be something different from the
Oh,
your
different.
account.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it. Got it.
So
No
this
worries.
account is
Thank you.
actually these accounts we get from the lab environment.
Okay. Right. Correct.
Okay, so that's why even I'm not using
No
my
worries.
personal. Even I'm not
Yeah,
using
no worries.
personal. You can see this. Okay, it's
Yeah.
a
No worries. Please go ahead.
lab environment. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
now. Mm, so yes, we can faster this process. Actually, what we need to do is to just we have to configure our like if you go here, this is my application. web application. If I go here on the overview, look at the URL that we have here, and if we look at our slots, deployment slots, for the production the URL is something different, and for staging the URL is something different. Okay, so both are the different URL. So if I open this one, and if I open look at this, where I am, swap, no, I don't need this. Once it is done, what is this? It's a different one. If I click on the overview and both the pages are same. Okay, just you consider like this is the Microsoft, one of the Microsoft page. Content are almost similar. So what is the concept behind this? Microsoft developer team, they develop the content, and once the content is ready for the end user, what they do is they just swap their slots. So the new things come in front of the end users like you and me, and the production goes to the development phase again, and they make the changes on the production slots. So it's a kind of projects like web applications which you can use for hosting your applications and make your projects live for your end users. And you, on the other end, you can integrate these sites with the help of or with your GitHub. You can push your codes, you can make your changes through the codes, and the changes will be made to your development, and then you just need to do what? Swap your slots. So when you will swap your slots, the developer sites will become the production will become the developer, and end user won't come to know the changes, and they will always see the latest thing. Okay, so this is how actually things are happen and executed in the production environment. So as a part of your project, you can think about this. Okay, you can think that okay, I have a web applications and we this is my scenario and this is how we can use our websites or our applications. Okay, and now we are going to learn our another concept. I hope we have a few times left, so we can see what is auto scaling. Okay, and then we will done. Now, if you see here, do you see auto scale, app service plan, scale out? So click here. So you can see this. You have manual auto scale out, you have automatic, and depending on your requirement, you will select your options. You will select your options. You will define all the informations that you want. You can go with the rule based also. If you want, you can define your rules. Now you see this, how many instances you want. For example, you want customs auto scale and you define your rules. So you can see you have instance count 1, and what if there is more loads? So depending on your rule, so you can say in scale mode, default conditions. If you want, you can edit your rule name. You can define your conditions. Here you see this, add scale conditions. It was 1. You can define your own conditions if you want. You can define your time. So as you know that in India, most probably like our working time is 9 to 5. So this is the peak hour. So at that time, you will get more loads, more hits. So you can define that time. Or there are many different sites from where we purchase our goods, like we order our anything online sites. During the festival season, what happened? They comes with lot of different offers. So during that time, more people visit to those sites and place the orders. So at that time, it becomes difficult for them to handle the load. So what they have done, they have set their timing. Okay, from this date to this date. Okay, if loads increases, then our instances will be increases automatically. So you can define your time. You can define your time zone, start date, end date, and based on those you save your informations. If you don't try, delete. If you don't want, delete. You have the options, guys, from where you can actually hello guys, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. But was saving settings for this? No. Just wait. Change message. This is is not. This is secure. After subscription is not registered to use namespace Microsoft inside. Well, I have this already. I have already this. Okay, I'm going with the automatic. Select the options. Enforce scale out time. You can define your timing. Okay. Maximum hours or boost, all these things you can save. Okay guys, now so whenever there will be any load or increase of demand, so what will happen guys, it will automatically increase the number of instances and will keep your services up and running and stable. And when the demand will decrease, the resources will be also decrease. Instances, the number of instance count will decrease. Guys, one small request for your project, if you are using a scale out, okay, guys, it will definitely increase your cost. Since you have $100 limit, these services is specifically used by the corporate. Okay, especially for those web hosting or the you can say e-commerce websites. Okay, those companies, they use these services very oftenly. Okay, so but if in your project, if you want to use this feature, guys, please use it very wisely. It will actually increase the cost. So if you have any question, any query, anything, please guys let me know. If you have any questions, Nuria. Hello, Nuria.
Sorry, I was
Yeah.
on mute. Sorry, I was on mute. Students, if you have any questions, now is your time to ask Ashok. You won't get this exclusive opportunity otherwise. So, especially if you're still to build your project or you're unsure, this is the time to ask your questions. I believe Deepak, you were coming off on mute to ask a question, so please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Can I speak, ma'am, in Hindi?
Yes. Ashok, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, please.
सर, इस सेशन में सर हम होस्ट करना सीखे कि मतलब स्टैटिक वेबसाइट को कैसे होस्ट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन सर अगर हमें जरूरत पड़ी डायनेमिक वेबसाइट को होस्ट करने के लिए, तो उसको सर कैसे मतलब होस्ट कर सकते हैं?
सॉरी दीपक,
सर इस सेशन में आप सिखाए सर कि स्टैटिक वेबसाइट कैसे होस्ट किया जाता है।
हाँ बोलो।
तो सर इसमें मतलब कोई डेटाबेस कनेक्टिविटी नहीं रहना है, कोई मतलब माई
अच्छा,
एसक्यूएल या एसक्यूएल कोई यूज हुआ?
दीपक, हमने यहाँ पे एक वेब एप्लीकेशंस का इस्तेमाल किया है, ठीक है। हमने कोई स्टैटिक वेबसाइट, अगर आप एक बार देखोगे यहाँ पे साइट, अगर आप ऐप सर्विस में जाते हो, है ना दीपक?
यस सर।
तो यहाँ पे आप ड्रॉप डाउन करते हो तो आपको क्या क्या दिख रहा है सर?
वेब ऐप, स्टैटिक वेब ऐप और वेब ऐप प्लस डेटाबेस सर,
है ना?
अब वर्डप्रेस यस सर।
तो आपको जवाब मिल गया सर?
यस सर मिल गया, बट सर जब हम मतलब कि
देखो
वेब
आपको
ऐप
अगर
और
हाँ बोलो दीपक।
सर मतलब अलग से वेब ऐप क्रिएट करते हैं और एक मतलब अलग से माई एसक्यूएल का एक डेटाबेस क्रिएट करते हैं,
हाँ
उसके बाद
हाँ
जब कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करने जाते हैं सर तो वो सही से नहीं हो पा रहा था,
हाँ, देखो दीपक,
तो उनमें कनेक्टिविटी नहीं बन पा रहा।
एक चीज है, हमारे एज्योर प्लेटफॉर्म पे बहुत ऐसे सर्विसेज हैं, ये यूजर फ्रेंडली है दीपक, यूजर फ्रेंडली है। अभी जो हमने किया था वो किया था वेब एप्लीकेशंस किया है ना, जिसमें हमने डेटाबेस का कॉन्सेप्ट हमने इस्तेमाल नहीं किया है ना। लेकिन अगर आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट है कि मैं करना चाहता हूँ, तो आपके पास क्या है, ये आप देख रहे हो?
वेब प्लस डेटाबेस।
हाँ, अगर आपके पास वर्डप्रेस है तो भी आप ये सारा चीजें यहाँ पे करोगे। अब देखो ये डिफरेंट सर्विसेज हैं वेब एप्लीकेशंस के, ठीक है?
यस सर।
तो आपको जो चाहिए, जैसे अगर आपने कह रहे हो कि डेटाबेस मुझे चाहिए, तो आप इस ऑप्शंस के, थर्ड ऑप्शंस के साथ चलोगे। हमने जो किया था यहाँ से किया था, वेब एप्लीकेशंस पे किया था, तो इसलिए हमें पीछे वो डेटाबेस की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी। ठीक है दीपक?
यस
ठीक है, आई होप यू गॉट योर। हाँ सर, हाँ भाई।
सर उस पे भी एक सेशन बनाते जिसमें वेब प्लस डेटाबेस दोनों साथ में कंबाइन करके ताकि लर्न कर पाते थे।
हाँ, वहां से आपको इसका इस्तेमाल करना पड़ेगा दीपक, ये चीज आपको करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए, ठीक है। और होता क्या है कि देखो यहाँ पे आपको वेब एप्लीकेशंस का भी कॉस्ट देना पड़ेगा और डेटाबेस का भी कॉस्ट देना पड़ेगा, ये याद रखना, ठीक है।
yes,
तो यहाँ पे इसलिए हम लोग जो है जब बात आती है हमारी, क्योंकि देखो हमारे पास एक लिमिट है $100 की, ठीक है, हमारे
yes,
पास एक लिमिट होती है $100 की, और हमें उसे बहुत ही सोच समझ के खर्च करना पड़ता है, ठीक है।
जी सर।
तो आपको अगर चाहते हो कि आप ऐसा कुछ करो तो यू हैव द ऑप्शंस ओवर हियर व्हिच यू कैन यूज, ठीक है।
सर
और
वो
अगर आपके पास, हाँ
सर वो
हाँ
किए हैं और होस्ट भी किए हैं और सर डेटाबेस भी बनाया है, लेकिन जब मतलब डेटाबेस से कनेक्ट करने का वो आता है ऑप्शन, तो उस टाइम मेरा वो जो वेबसाइट रहता है वो कम्युनिकेट ही नहीं कर पाता है डेटाबेस के साथ। जब होस्ट होने जाता है उसके बाद जब ऑफलाइन में हम काम कर रहे होते हैं तब तक सारा सही काम कर रहा होता है, बट जैसे ही होस्ट कर देते हैं उसके ऊपर तो वो सही से काम
आपने
ही नहीं कर पाता है।
आपने अपने डेटाबेस में जो लॉगिन्स हैं वहां पे परमिशंस वगैरह सही से दिए हो?
लेकिन सर जब हम मतलब कि ऑफ लोकल होस्ट पे उससे कनेक्ट करके चलाते हैं तो उसमें जो भी सारा परमिशन मांगते हैं वो सारा दे दिए तो वो मतलब सही से काम करता है। लेकिन
हाँ
जैसे ही मतलब अजूर के वेबसाइट पे होस्ट कर देते हैं तो उसके बाद सिर्फ होम पेज दिखाता है, उसके बाद कनेक्शन काम ही नहीं करता है। जैसे लॉगिन करना चाहे तो लॉगिन नहीं हो पाता है मेरा वेब एप्लीकेशन के साथ और डेटाबेस से।
आप एक काम करो, उसका जो एरर होगा ना, कुछ एरर देता होगा।
सर एरर कुछ दिखाता ही नहीं। जैसे मान लीजिए लॉगिन पेज बना हुआ है, उसके अंदर यूजर
हम्म,
आईडी और पासवर्ड डाले हम अपने डेटाबेस में। अब वो डेटाबेस में डालने के बाद हमारे वो माई एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस से
ऑथेंटिकेटिंग
कम्युनिकेट करके लॉगिन हो जाना चाहिए। तो सर
लॉगिन
वो
नहीं होता है,
लॉगिन।
लॉगिन
यस सर।
लॉगिन नहीं हो रहा है, इसका मतलब ये हुआ ना कि यूजर ऑथेंटिकेट नहीं हो रहा है,
यस सर।
यूजर ऑथेंटिकेट नहीं हो रहा है। तो जब यूजर ऑथेंटिकेट नहीं हो रहा है इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं कम्युनिकेशंस गैप पड़ रहा है।
यस सर, लेकिन सर जब लोकल होस्ट पे चला रहे हैं वो उसी डेटाबेस से
हाँ
कनेक्ट
तो
करके सब हो जा रहा है।
हाँ देखो, एक होता है रिमोट लॉगिन, एक होता है लोकल लॉगिन, है ना।
यस
तो
सर।
रिमोट पे वो ऑथेंटिकेट नहीं कर पा रहा है। तो
यस सर।
आप एक बार देखो कि इसका परमिशंस वगैरह एक बार चेक करके देख लेना दीपक।
सर वो परमिशन कहाँ पे चेक कर सकते हैं?
अपने लोकल डेटाबेस में देख रहे हो, कहाँ पे देख रहे हो जो
लोकल डेटा
यूजर,
परमिशन तो सर वो सर अजूर के वेबसाइट पे ही ना देखना पड़ेगा परमिशन।
यहाँ पे जो आप सर्वर नेम दे रहे हो,
यस सर।
है ना, तो
यस
आपने क्या क्या कॉन्फ़िगर किया था?
सर, सर्वर नेम में सर्वर का कोई मतलब यूनिक नेम दिए, उसके बाद डेटाबेस का एक नाम दिए थे, और फिर एक पासवर्ड बनाने के लिए भी आया था, पासवर्ड भी दिए थे सर। और उसके साथ फिर कनेक्ट किए थे हम अपना मतलब एप्लीकेशन को।
हम्म,
और उसके बाद जब सारा कनेक्टिविटी हो गया तो फिर लोकल होस्ट पे चला के भी देखे थे इस डेटाबेस के साथ, जो ऑनलाइन डेटाबेस होस्ट है अजूर के सर्वर पे।
आपको
तो
कोई
वहाँ पे
आपको कोई एरर नहीं मिल रहा है?
नहीं सर, एरर कोई नहीं मिल रहा है।
ठीक है, एक काम करो, आप आपकी जो अच्छा, प्रॉब्लम तो मैंने आपकी समझ लिया, ठीक है।
जी सर।
इसका सलूशन मैं आपको कैसे दे सकता हूँ,
वो तो आप ही
ठीक है,
बता।
क्योंकि मेरे पास वी डोंट हैव दैट मच टाइम कि हम आपको ये क्या कहते हैं ये सारा चीज करके अभी दिखाएं, ठीक है। बट आपको हेल्प जरूर कर सकते हैं हम,
यस सर।
वी कैन हेल्प।
So, Ashok, what we can do is that if you want, like, we can set up a call separately also.
or we can can I share my number with him?
So we want to refrain from doing that. But what we can
Okay.
do is, Deepak, if you can write to our support desk, with
Yeah.
your problem, then we'll ask Ashok to revert back to that email.
ओके मैम इनका ईमेल पे मैसेज करना पड़ेगा
हाँ
just write the
ये
email इसको यहाँ पर, एक मिनट मैं डाल रही हूँ. So दीपक, मैंने चैट में एक ईमेल डाला है support@futurereadytalent.in. इस पर ईमेल कर दो आपके क्या क्वेश्चंस है वगैरह.
हाँ,
तो
जो problems है,
सपोर्ट, हाँ जो भी
हाँ।
प्रॉब्लम्स है, और फिर अशोक आपका रिस्पॉन्स कर देगा, या हमारी टीम से कोई भी रिस्पॉन्स कर देगा आपके
हाँ।
क्वेश्चंस का.
ठीक है दीपक?
ओके थैंक यू सर
हाँ.
Thank you. Sorry, just I know कि we only have 10 minutes, so just want to be mindful because others also have other commitments.
Yeah.
So students, other than Deepak, are there any other questions that we have
Guys, if any one
from
of you have any questions, please let us know.
Akriti, Varun? I know you're on the call. If there are any questions that you might have, or
Hello.
yeah, Varun, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, sir, I was looking to implement the Azure OpenAI service into my website. So actually, I studied the Azure AI 900 module, but it showed how to use the Azure OpenAI service, but it did not show how to implement into my website. So if I could get how to implement. I want to get my website has Azure OpenAI service. So how can I do that?
So you want to integrate your OpenAI with your website?
Yes, exactly.
ठीक है सर. इसका आपने ये मेल देख लिया?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, मैं आपको आज शाम को इसकी सोल्यूशन में आपको मेल कर देता हूँ.
Okay. And
ठीक है,
one
प्रोसेस
more thing, sir.
जो प्रोसेस
Sir,
है वो मैं आपको मेल कर देता हूँ. ठीक है.
हाँ जी sir. Sir, one more question. I think that this service is not free as our OpenAI service. So like if I integrate into my website, so the cost is like whenever we open the website, or if we kept open the resource, it still costs us. So
सर
how is the cost?
देखो एक चीज होती है कि आपके पास प्राइस कैलकुलेटर है ना?
हाँ जी सर.
तो आप कैलकुलेटर पे जाना, और जाने के बाद आपकी जो भी सर्विसेज होती है उन सर्विसों को क्या करो, सर्च करो, और यहाँ पे वो आपको बता देगा ये आवरली चार्ज है, मंथली चार्ज है, या कैसे है. ठीक है सर? ठीक है, तो आप आई होप दिस क्वेरी इज रिजॉल्व.
Like I checked it into it, and इसमें मेंशन है कि जैसे 3.5 जीपीटी के लिए पर 1000 टोकन्स $0.0015 है. तो मैं इसका मतलब नहीं समझ पाया कि मतलब 1000 टोकन्स का क्या मतलब है.
हाँ, किसका?
इसमें जैसे लिखा था कि पर 1000 टोकन्स फॉर जीपीटी 3.5 दे चार्ज $0.0015.
आपने यहाँ पे सर्च किया था?
हाँ जी प्राइस कैलकुलेटर पे.
यहाँ पे
हाँ जी.
ओपन एआई
Azure-
आपने सर्च किया?
हाँ जी, मैंने नॉर्मल गूगल पे लिख दिया था एजोर ओपन एआई सर्विस, तो वहाँ पे प्राइसिंग आ गई थी.
हाँ, ये आपके पास सर्विस है.
हाँ जी.
आपने कहाँ देखा प्राइस?
ये सर, ये यहाँ पे लिखा ना कि पर 1000 टोकन $0.0015.
किधर? ये
हाँ जी.
ये
हाँ जी सर।
प्रॉम्प्ट अच्छा 1x कि आपके पास यहाँ पे देखो स्पीड लो, ठीक है, कॉस्ट देखो आप।
हाँ जी सर। तो सर इसका ये मतलब है कि जब भी हम प्रॉम्प्ट करेंगे तभी कॉस्ट लगेगी,
हाँ
मतलब
तभी कॉस्ट
अगर हम खाली रिसोर्स ओपन रखते हैं और प्रॉम्प्ट नहीं कर रहे, वेबसाइट यूज कोई नहीं कर रहा, तो कॉस्ट नहीं लगेगी उस वक्त?
नहीं,
ओके।
ठीक है। यहाँ पे हर चीज का डिस्कस उसने अपना बताया हुआ है, देख लो आप, हर चीज का कंप्लीशन का क्या है, सारी कॉस्ट आपको रीजन का भी दिया हुआ है, ठीक है।
और सर टोकन्स का मतलब वही हो गया कि सर जैसे प्रॉम्प्ट है मेरा, तो उसी में जो वर्ड्स हैं उन्हीं को टोकन्स कह रहे हैं?
बस ठीक है, अब आपको कौन सा चाहिए आप देख लो, ठीक है, जैसा आपको चाहिए उस हिसाब से कॉस्ट आपको मिलेगा। तो देखो ये जो रिसोर्स, ये जो कैलकुलेटर दिया गया है, ये इसीलिए दिया गया है सो दैट यू कैन गेट एन एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट, ठीक है। और इसको ताकि आप हमारे देखो, एक तो होता है प्रोडक्शन, एक होता है फ्री, है ना। तो फ्री में आपको थोड़ा सा संभल के खर्च करना पड़ेगा, है ना, बिकॉज वी हैव अ लिमिट ऑफ $100। उस पे हमें ऐसा काम करे ताकि हमारा काम भी हो जाए और हमारा सारा, हमें पैसा भी एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट ना करना पड़े।
यस सर।
ठीक है।
हाँ जी।
इज देयर एनीवन?
थैंक यू सर।
इज देयर एनीवन?
So, Ashok, we're all here.
Yeah.
So, Varun, does that answer your question? If you have any additional questions, just write to our support desk. I know you have their email with the exact question, and then they will pass it on to Ashok or somebody else from our evaluator team who will respond to you with the exact answer. So, in case there are any outstanding questions left as well.
Okay. Sir, once into the project, I am writing that into the chat box.
Okay, great, great, great. Perfect. Great. I think Akriti said that she does not have any questions. So in that case, I think we can wrap up today's session. If there's anything else, Ashok, you would like to add before we wrap it up, otherwise I'll close the session.
Yes, guys, as I told you in the beginning of the session, guys, please be very careful with your $100. Do everything, but before you wrap up your session, okay, so don't forget to delete your resource group जब आप प्रैक्टिकल कर रहे होते हैं प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए, okay guys, so please don't forget to delete your resource group. So when you will delete your resource group, all the resources inside the resource group will be automatically deleted and you will be able to use your cost wisely. Okay, sir? Deepak? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, students, for joining.